And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Factorio Space Age, where if everything goes according to plan, we're gonna finish up proving Volcanus this episode and get off it in preparation to go to another planet to rinse and repeat. Okay, we do have one electromagnetic plant here. Is worth 2.5 red, basically. Or 2.5 of these ones, right? So we use it as a replacement. Could shove it there. Okay. In which case we'd want to cut, paste, slide over one. Oh, don't quite have the range. We slide that one over one. It's fine. We're waiting on electric circuits. So we know that, well, this also needs to meet this requirement. So I suppose we can just go ahead and say these two. Is there not a belt there for some reason? It's not a belt there for some reason. Don't know why. Probably misclicked at some point and destroyed it. Okay, so in effect that should be the same amount of red, but at, well, this will consume 50% less than the 3 that it replaced. 50% less product, yeah. Or input to make the same, basically make the same product. And yeah, the red is starting to back up, which is a good sign. That should hopefully mean that we can get the blue going more reliably. Rocket fuel's going. We still got a petroleum shortage. The heavy is backed up, so at this point that's probably saying that we need more cracking. Need more cracking. Wire cannot reach. Okay. And then we need one chemical plant. That's a refinery. Chemical plant. That'll help a little bit with working the heavy oil down. And then at some point we might need to set up some cracking for the light. In fact, probably future-proofing, I should just presume we're going to need to. That's kind of what the space over here is for anyway. So let's go novice. Let's copy our bit up here. So this is the logic component for light, okay. we go to Volcanus. I need to make power switch. I'm going to go grab one engine. Make a pump out of. And we'll make 5 pumps. These weapons about to finish. Then should auto swap over to the one that is using metallurgical. Do you think it's been delivered? Okay, Buff Fizzle is there and ready to turn around to come back. Pick up some Volcanus load. You have picked up your foundries, okay. So at this point, it can now generate the metal that we can just drop to Fulgora. So let's have you move back to Novice. And we'll start setting up the construction component for doing that metal water production. Oh, I'm being weird. I just realized I did not need completely take certain things off the grid. Okay, so you out of there. You connect to you. You connect to you. Yeah, it's already is because it's in the network. There it's right. Okay. So that's not too full. That's why that hasn't closed. You're closed because you're too full. These can be connected. Let's fix that. So it's this one that has to be connected specially so that we can toggle the pump on off. Yeah. Now we can pop over to Novice and pick up this shindig. Yeah, that shindig. Walk back to Volcanus. Yeah, like so. Then replace those. And now that just needs the cracking. Or the chemical plants for the cracker. Oh, and I suppose and those power poles. Okay, this is now energized. We've got enough light oil that we do want some cracking going on. Otherwise we will have problems. There we go. More petroleum gas being made. And now I can, if we want to, I kind of do want to. Let's plumb the heavy back into the system and replace these guys. Okay, and with that installed, we no longer need this. Yeah, completely picked up. Set that one up. We'll get some more of that. And now the heavies are now connected. So as long as the cracking is working right... Yeah, as long as the cracking is working right. Well, we've got both of them connected. So we got two of these only make heavies in the system. And as long as this portion is working right, we should hopefully not completely deplete the entire heavy supply. As well, I think we have one cracker, two crackers. They're set to always run. Let's put the pipe in, connecting the two networks. So a bunch of heavy flows up here. These now basically will run perpetually. These eat 40 every 2 seconds. So they might actually be consuming a little too much still, because we're making 50 every 2.5 seconds. And this is consuming 40 every second from these. But that should still be enough that the main oil refineries will work. So we open that button because the heavy oil has depleted enough. There's still heavy oil being consumed, even without that being closed. This one's closed, so we still have pretty heavy light oil usage. This petroleum system and this petroleum system aren't connected. But I suppose at this point, this petroleum and the light are basically just set up to fill. Right, so worst case scenario, this gets full, and okay, then the cracking here isn't, because the light here and the petroleum here are not connected to the light and the petroleum coming off of these. Yeah, okay. So these are the ones we need to have manually controlled, or systematically controlled. Seeing a little bit more reliable blue production. I'm not sure if it's going, yeah, it's not going at full speed. Don't quite have that level of green. I suppose I can get back to building my launch pads, because what are we missing really? We're missing one blue inserter. A bunch of power poles, which I just put in the network, and then the 2 launch facilities. I'm not sure how much of that we'll actually be allowed to pick up, but start picking it up. And yeah, now we need electric units and steel. And blue. Steel's not too hard. Engines aren't going to be too hard, so we just gotta go pick them up. Okay, there's the engines we need for the 2 sets. We got the pipes. We just need steel. Okay, now we just need the processing units for the second one. And then we're just... we at least got, at any given time, potential of 8 different launches ready waiting for us. Don't think I've got enough blue. No, almost. There we go. There we go. Okay, so if we get lucky, and we're probably not going to get lucky. I probably have now built more launch capacity than our poor blue circuit supply can support. But at this point, I think as far as improvements here, no, I need to stop telling them to bring me the things back as I'm dropping them in the network. Don't bring me my stuff back. I'm dropping them. Go in the back, thinking about launching myself into space. Okay, so now we're probably just more limited by the bots doing deliveries. Yeah. Well, partially limited by the bots doing deliveries. We're also limited by the blue circuits, I suppose. Double launch up to the rocket. Yeah, I don't think we're going to quite be able to fit that many. Let's try to be more conservative, like 3,000. It does have to fit, after all. Oh, we've got 3,000. Okay. I think that's a good start. Let's get ourselves spaceport. Send me to the Bob Fizzle, please. There are definitely improvements we can do here. For example, expanding the blue production, blue processing unit production. But those things would work better if, you know, I had the stuff in Fulgora to do it with. That's where we're going next. We're going to Fulgora next. I'm not even sure I'm going to get off the Bob Fizzle. I think we're going to fly the Bob Fizzle to Novice today. And then might even just sail it on through to Fulgora. But yes, you're loaded up enough for the now. Go ahead to Office. Punch the accelerator. Okay, and what do you want if we want you sitting over Fulgora producing stuff to drop for Fulgora? Probably less solar panels, to be fair. We're going to need a little bit of space to do the fancy refining. Okay, so I have it set up that anything that is not one of the asteroid types gets shoved into the space platform. Everything that is an asteroid type gets shunted down to there. Unless it's surplus, in which case it goes down that chute. Okay. So we're going to want to do some crushing. Well, both types of crushing, I suppose. Well, I suppose we're not going to necessarily be doing any reprocessing, right? Just do the normal processing. Oh, I probably just want this the other side. Let's type the other side. And then we can do a filtered splitter. So, oh, actually, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So, we're going to melt the two ores. Which obviously is going to require some calcite. Actually, I suppose we should do this the other way around. Left and calcite. Then you... Well, no, I don't want to filter on here. We want this to be left prioritized. Okay, well, fix this first. Use filter. This would be a blacklist. Blacklist, don't grab the oxide asteroid chunks. Oh, and you're not supposed to be reprocessing. You're supposed to be advanced. So, when ice is greater than 100. Enable when less than. So I'm gonna want a sushi belt, I think. Yeah. Oh, I need to go one over. One more over to make that work. And then this can go there and there. And one of these wants to be iron, one of these wants to be copper. With the amount that we're going to be doing on this is more than enough. This is really just supposed to be a ship doing rebalancing, I'm thinking. Okay, here comes some copper and iron. We're probably going to speed that up, and that'll work in the short run. And then we direct insert. so. Okay, and one of these wants to be... Oh, I'm forgetting I need also need iron. Or also might want steel. Yes. Okay, that complicates things a bit. Then I want to do the more direct way. That's going to make more sense. More direct. Okay, what we're going to have is... say 3 and 3 and 3. Then you want to be enabled, grab, say, iron. Oh, less than 100. And then, actually, I suppose I can keep going them around. But then we swap you to copper, you to steel. Okay, I just need to find the space for 3 foundries. Which, to be fair, is not some complicated task. Okay, we did copper's the middle one. You are the steel. And you are the iron. Okay, so in theory, assuming this is still safe to fly, this should be... Oh, let me prioritize keeping stuff on the belt, please. Yeah. When we got a sushi belt, please keep it on the sushi belt if possible. Alright. Don't just chuck the steel overboard. Okay, there we go. This should be able to supply iron, copper, and steel. Maybe not at the greatest rate, but this is if we screw everything up on Fulgora and need basic inputs. We can now do basic inputs. So let's see if this, in its current configuration, can make it to Fulgora. And the Bob Fizzle that we're on is at Novice. Science has dropped to the planet below, as we did desire. Meaning... if stuff is working right at Novice, we should have a decent amount of science production. Why is things not working right at Novice? What do we... Yeah, you use that type of science. That's... Oh. It's going at the speed of our space science, which is terrible. That makes sense. We brought like 3,000. So, in theory, we now have enough metallurgical science here that those three checks will complete. Might be a stretch on the speed. We might not finish the speed. We're going to send Bob Fizzle around back to Volcanus to pick another load. In fact, Volcanus will probably be ready for us to pick the next load up by the time it comes around. Same sort of thing with low density structure productivity. And arguably low density structure productivity and processing unit productivity would help with our main launch issues. Because our main launch issues are blue and low density. And Fulgora is full on inventory space again, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, apparently I got lots of low density structure here. So I might literally just be limited by the fact I don't have enough polonium plate. Okay, that's an unexpected problem to be having. Well, make more storage. The sun... When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When our problem is we have adequate everything except for polonium. Try to get other stuff turned into other stuff. Yeah, we might try shipping stuff off of Fulgora just to try to work through the backlog. Because yeah, a lot of the stuff here we don't need super much of, apparently. And yeah, it's just the polonium. We're out of polonium. We're backed up on everything else and out of polonium. Polonium comes out of the scrap. Not sure exactly the ratio it comes out of the scrap. I think it's in our recipe here. Yeah, it'll be in the recipe, yes. Oh, I need to be on a planet to see it. Or working with an appropriate machine? No, I have to be on the planet to see it. Alright, well, looking at the time, this is probably a good place to put the part break in. Next time we will probably make our way over to Fulgora with the hopes of improving Fulgora. In theory, with a little bit of space ice, we can guarantee we always have water on hand. And that allows us to make power by mechanisms that are not just accept electricity from space, or from the sky. Not that that's apparently the limitation of our power grid. The limitation of our power grid is storage, which isn't currently an issue because we're so backed up, things are not running. We're also bringing more bots and bringing more botnet so we can drop more stuff in. But that'll be for next time. Hope you've all been enjoying. If you've been watching this far, feel free to leave a comment. Again, if you've been enjoying, this is being recorded on a 5-day cycle, as is the case with all the streams. So we'll be back to playing Factorio in 5 days. If everything's going well, we basically got 2 more planets with which to get the basic sort of text done. Working on cliff explosives. We want to work towards, of course, planet discovery Aqualia here, which means we need to get rocket turrets going. So basically, we need to get to Gleba, and I kind of want to do the stuff in Gleba last, sort of. So we need carbon fiber. Do the rocket turrets, do stack inserters, do tool belt. Interesting. Do Spider Shrine, do Quelia. And then we're gonna have fun getting out to Quelia and doing cryogenic, and then Promethium. And then I think what? Or once we have cryogenic, we can start contemplating. So cryogenic tech, yeah. Okay, so we get to cryogenic. We've got a bunch of stuff in here, a lot of which is not necessarily super important. Well, I suppose the railgun is required for damage, right? Maybe once you've got Aqualia researched. Because once you have Aqualia researched, you can just try to go to the Shattered Planet. Trying to figure out where in the tech tree is stuff to go even deeper. Yeah, rocket productivity would be good. Foundation. Cross-feeding cannon, sniper rifle, yeah. Okay, so the Promethean science unlocks the Shattered Planet. So, Shattered Planet, I believe, is basically the end game. Serious planet with former world, the far depths of space, remnants floating in space at once occupied. Hold the resource to unlock powerful technologies, however, accessing them is not without risk. So yeah, I believe you technically win the game when you get to the Shattered Planet. So we got one more real planet here. We win the game when you get the Solar System Edge. Whether you can get the Shattered Planet or not is the question there, right? But yeah, so we've got one more real planet to go to, which is to get over to Koala. But to do that, realistically, we need to get Fulgoran science going more reliably. We need Gleban science going more reliably. Then it's Aquila, or Quello, and then it's out to the Solar System Edge. And once we're there, we've won. So, at this rate, like, we're gonna spend 5 days. We're gonna spend 5 parts here. So that's gonna be probably next stream. Gleba's gonna take long. Let's guess, like 2 more streams for Aquila or for Gleba. And it's going to be like 2 at Aquello, and then we'll be done. So we've got like 5 streams or so left in Factorio before I'm done with this run. At the speed I'm going. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be going faster. As we get stuff done, we'll be able just to do stuff faster, I suspect. There's a little bit of redesigning we can do here, but really what we'll be really designing here is maybe adding a little bit more science or something. One thing I could do is we could delay these to let the space science back up a little bit, and instead you do one of the repeatables that doesn't require space. In the meantime, like we do another mining productivity. yeah, let's queue another mining productivity and push it to the front. And that allow space to back up a bit while we get that done. So yeah, I hope you've all been enjoying. I'm yammering along about future plans. I'm not even gonna leave the spaceship because we know we're going someplace, and the spaceship's the perfect place to be there for. But yeah, during the stream, well, I think it was the first part of the stream. The first part of the stream, we put 4 more rockets here on Novice that apparently are much more capable of launching. Yeah, I'll give them a little bit of time to back up. Eventually, in theory, you might see similar-ish here on Volcanus, where we'll be able to more reliably make use of all 4 of our launchers, which are apparently already ready to launch again. That's what we're planning to do in Fulgora, is get Fulgora, maybe not 4 launchers ready, but get it set up that we're getting more Helonium going, and some process on what to deal with all the overflow. Part of it might be, some of this is some of the expensive stuff, right? So there's a bunch of blue stuff in here, a bunch of batteries, a bunch of red circuits. We could be building stuff on Fulgora to ship off, just to sift through the trash. Weird way to think about it, right? The most valuable stuff on here is almost trash. The valuable stuff elsewhere is trash on Fulgora. So we need to sort that out, and we actually need to spend our trash. But yeah. So I hope you've all been enjoying. Next stream, Factorio, will be in 5 days. There'll be different games between then and now. Besides Factorio, we've got Long Dark, we got Gripping Yourselves 4, Subnautica. I think Subnautica may finish during next stream. Or at least it'll get very close. It'll be at the point where I'll need to spoil how to do the ending if we're not done next stream. Legionnaires' Life, don't know how long that is. We're making good progress. I think there's only like 10 acts out right now, so we're like halfway through, I think. But still in the stream or 2 left on that. Okay, and with that, wish you all the best luck, good time, and bye for now.